Hi guys, welcome to the first episode of People in Products, where we'll talk about everything products with individuals who belong in the African tech ecosystem. I am so glad to be starting this with you guys, so don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel right now. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dara Simi and I am a UI UX designer. And today we have someone who is a designer here with us as well. Here is Akachi, who is a product designer at Quidax. Hi Akachi, how are you doing today?
Hi. Okay.
It's so good to have you here. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get started with it. Just tell us something about yourself, anything interesting, what you do, your experience, anything fun.
All right, so my name is Akachi. I'm a product designer. I actually like to call myself a multidisciplinary designer, right? Because I can, I still do graphic design. I'm an illustrator, visual design, right?
Wow.
I like designing. I like thinking about things. I like, solving problems visually. I've been doing this for since 2017.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, I always knew I was going to do design. Somehow, I kind of got. I was too confident in myself when I was in uni, so I felt like, oh, I'll just leave school and start my company. But now I'm not even interested in it.
Why?
I'm not in the mood, please.
Why? There must be a reason why you don't want to do that anymore.
Maybe sometime later, right?
Okay.
I think I now value like not years of experience, but quality of experience.
Okay.
So I think I would always be willing to share what I know. But it's not
Okay.
enough for me to go ahead and open an academy and start saying, oh, I'm going to teach people design, right? I will teach you whatever I know, but I would not take it out of content and make it a thing yet, at least not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. Maybe sometime later in future. Because there's still so much that I want to learn. I still want to dabble in designing physical products. I
Okay.
find it very interesting. I still want to learn sound design.
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel like there's so much I want to learn before I can. I'll feel like, oh, yeah, confident enough to say, oh, this is something I want to do. Right. So I've been designing since 2017, graduated from Babcock. I did an internship thing when I was in 2017, right? So I
Okay.
got my first working experience at Paystack.
Oh.
Then after that, I got poached by some other company, Reliance Health. So I worked there as a solo designer for more than 3 years.
Wow.
So it was an interesting experience. I learned a lot of things. And because I was mostly by myself, I had to do a lot of things very fast. I also know how to write code.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. What programming languages can you write?
HTML, CSS,
Basic one.
JavaScript,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah, because I had to,
So you're like a unicorn designer.
something like that.
Okay.
I had to design because I was like alone and we're starting up. I had to learn so much in a short period of time. So I didn't just like design. I also had to write code and then do the illustrations. It was a lot
Okay.
of work, but I
Wow.
mean, it's hindsight now. I can say, oh, it helped my experience. But at that time, I felt I was going to die. It was so much work. I wanted to quit. So I was coming for a place that I was enjoying myself.
Oh,
Straight into like startup life, right? Yeah.
okay.
Currently, I work at Quidax. I'm a product designer. It's a very interesting journey so far. I really like it. So yeah.
I can see it. You're
Yeah.
all smiles and all. When you started in 2014, right?
2017.
2017, sorry.
Yeah.
What did you start with? What area of design did you start with?
Product design. So in uni, I used to do like graphic design, like
Okay.
designing things with the department. Yeah. So I mean, I don't have like an official starting date, right? When I was in
Okay.
2011, I went to this school that used to teach people like you can learn how to code or design. So I learned how to use like Adobe tools there.
Okay.
So like I kind of started getting knowledge early, but I would just say I started with like product design, UI UX. Should
Yeah.
have been maybe UI UX design in 2017. Yeah, that's where I started.
How easy was it for you to get your first job? Did you go
Uh,
through an internship first or
yeah, it was the internship first.
at Paystack?
Yes, and
Okay.
then I got hired at Reliance.
Oh.
So I've kind of been lucky. Yeah, I'll just say I've been lucky. When I left Reliance, I was unemployed for some time, but I actually wanted a break. And then as soon as I was ready to um move on, like start getting jobs and doing interviews. It was tough, sha, but I still got something in a relatively short period of time.
Oh,
Yeah,
lucky
because
for
job
you.
hunting is the
Is
ghetto.
so I know, right? You can see that again. 5 years experience, right?
Yes,
What is
actually.
different between 5 years and now in area of design? How has design evolved for you?
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
um, I think now I'm kind of more confident. I can easily see things, right? My eyes have gotten better training. So I
Okay.
can easily see things and, spots. My design knowledge is no longer fixated on or like screens. I still remember the very first time I did a UI UX challenge thing.
Is
Like
it the
daily
daily
UI.
UI
Yeah,
challenge?
I mean
Yeah.
I just went straight
Okay.
into the whole. I just putting things together. I had ideas. Maybe people saw me then and thought, oh, maybe I have potential or something. But like now, like there's a whole. The difference is like a lot. I
Yeah.
can see how things can be improved. I can easily give feedback on design. I know things now. It's better.
Yeah.
Like, it's faster when I'm working.
Okay.
I understand like the tools very
Were you
easily.
self-taught or you went through training?
So I wouldn't say I'm self-taught in quotes. Well, I would say I'm self-taught, but not really. Maybe half self-taught. Because in when I was in a postdoc, we had Opa did like a design thing for us. So
Okay.
he first broke down like different stages of design, different types of design. I remember like on the whiteboard.
Okay.
So I kind of got some kind of training. But then that's not all. Like till now, I still do IDF classes.
Okay.
Yeah, I still try to improve by myself. So it's not really self-taught. There's knowledge that you go ahead and find.
I see. That's great. With the new updates on Figma, how do you say it?
So
Have you used it,
not
or
yet.
do you even use Figma?
I love Figma. I love Figma for life. Because when I first started designing is when Figma launched.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that time Sketch was only Sketch and Sketch was like $99 or something.
Wow. So it's
And
not even free.
Sketch is not free.
Wow.
So I was like, it's free for like 30 days. I was like, how am I going to use Sketch now? I was really stressed. So I had like 30 days. And then I was like, have you tried Figma? Have you seen Figma? I was like, okay. So I went to start using Figma. And I love Figma because
Everybody
it
loves
was
Figma.
free. And
Yeah.
so the new features, I haven't tested them yet, but I
But
will do so soon. But I mean, I love
I tried
Figma.
it some days ago, and the variants, and I didn't get it. I had to call one of my friends to explain to me, like, how
Oh,
does this thing, how do they do this thing?
component and
Components
variant.
and variants.
Yeah,
It's
I think
it's
it's something
entirely
I'll
different right now.
enjoy.
And then there's the dark mode
Oh
as well. I've
yeah.
not yet gotten used to that one yet. I haven't tried it.
When
But
I saw like videos of the new updates. I feel like this is an upgrade.
yeah, it is.
I think the first things is I can't say this like 100%, but I don't think people really understand how it's supposed to be used, how components
Yeah,
and variants are supposed to be used. Because if you do, I didn't find it difficult when I looked at it.
because we're already used to it.
Yeah, I've done like come in charge of the design system where I work.
Okay.
So I'm always, using like variants and components
Components,
and
yeah.
making the most of it. So I kind of really liked it. I didn't really see it as a new thing, to be honest.
It's just the placement where it's placed now. It's
Yeah,
entirely different. So you have
yes,
to look around before you find it.
but it's
You know how it
nice.
will.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
it's
like
amazing.
Figma,
I
so
love
I will
Figma.
still like take my time and go through the
Yeah, I
this thing and
should.
practice myself because watching videos is one thing.
Nah,
Yeah, you need
practicing is
practicing
another
is
thing.
another. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about design thinking. Do you think any process is more important than the other? You know, there are 5 stages in design thinking.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that is more important than the other? Is there anyone that you can scrap and say, I don't need to do this one, let's do another one?
Okay, so I don't think anyone is more important than the other, but I think that understanding the very first stage, empathizing and understanding, like the first two are really important because I think that they will always, like design thinking is not a linear process, right?
Yeah,
Based on where
true,
you
true.
are, you might need to go back.
Yeah.
But if you cannot empathize with people properly, and if you don't understand the problem enough to even define it, you're not going to be solving the right problem.
Yeah.
So I feel like those two are really important because if you miss them, you will still keep coming
Come
back,
back. Yeah.
right? So if you empathize properly, you define problem properly,
Yeah.
you're in the third ideative stage. I mean, the ideas can fail. it's okay for ideas to fail. So you can always go, come back,
come
back. But you at least the problem is different. But then if all your ideas are not working, I mean, you might have to go back.
to the beginning.
Yeah.
What stage would you now say that if I miss the stage, I missed the entire thing? Defining. Are you sure?
Yes.
Defining the problem.
Defining the problem.
Yes.
If you don't define the problem,
you do something
obviously
else.
working on the wrong thing.
So you have to go back
yes,
to
I
the
think
beginning.
defining is really important.
Yeah.
It helps to set the stage for the rest of the process.
So how do you come up with your ideas during your ideation?
Me. So it depends on the problem I'm solving, first and foremost.
Okay.
Right. It depends on the problem I'm solving. So let's say it's a problem of people complaining about backache and their chairs are problematic.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of, I mean, the first thing is to understand people, right?
Yeah.
How they work or how they spend most of their time, how they, really day to day, are they always lying down? How do you lie down? What kind of bed do you use?
Yes,
so it might not just be a chair problem. It might be that you have bad posture. It might be that you're not like your bed is too soft. It's always sinking in, so it's uncomfortable and it translates to your entire day. So I think the first thing is understanding where the problem is coming from, and then you might say, okay, maybe chairs are bad. So then you start researching chairs. What kind of chair do you use for this kind of back problem, right? After all of that, you might find something that works, maybe get samples, have person tests.
Yeah.
Is this comfortable? Have you actually checked back at your bed and everything? How do you lie down? How do you sit? So all those other things, are they okay? Then you can ask, okay, maybe you need to change your chair or something. If it's a problem, or let's say a visual design problem,
okay.
Another thing I always do is I use mood boards, right? So maybe PM and everybody, they've gone through all the research there and say, okay, the problem we're having now is people are missing. Let's say people are missing. They don't know how to do a certain action. Let's say they don't know how to do their KYC, for instance. So there's a flow problem, right?
Yeah.
So I'll first research other people's apps. What are people doing about this? How are they solving this problem? So what can I take from there? And then how can I simplify? Is there anything I can make better? So it depends on the kind of problem I'm solving.
Basically,
that defines
the entire thing.
Yeah, I would go around.
Even when it comes to research, we know there are different types of research.
Yeah.
How do you now know what kind of research to do for a particular problem that you're solving?
Okay, so personally, right, I don't like to differentiate the kinds of research, right? Because I believe that it's all asking questions, right? So the important thing is to ask the right question. So asking questions and right people, trying to understand what it is.
Sorry, it's not every time you always have to conduct user interviews, but
it's also not every time you have to do user testing or user research or asking them questions. Well, that's really important. But kind of forgive you, but users sometimes they are.
I know, you don't have to say it.
Yes, so they say things, but what they say is not what exactly. So I usually they always take it with a pinch of salt, right? It's best to observe.
Yeah.
So and what are they really doing, right? And why do they say these things that they say? So user research is important, right?
Yeah.
It's always important, but there are many ways to go about it. You don't always have to make it a formal setting. I think if you just ask questions or put people in a group chat, just listen to them, it's easier to get.
Is it always easier to empathize with them that way?
Honest answers than when you tell them that I want to have a user interview. Then they now they want to appear smarter. And they're not honest about the problems that they're really encountering. Yeah. So it's easier to just ask, what do people think about this? You're not acting like you're a problem solver.
Just act them randomly.
Act like a part of them. You see people saying what they honestly feel, and it's easier to help than.
That's very true.
User experience like that. They was okay. Because it feels like test.
Yeah.
They want to pass the test. They want to do well. And say the right things, because does that my and guys, am I saying the right thing? And then you don't have to worry about what's right or wrong.
Exactly, just say it as it is.
Yourself,
yeah, I get it. This is one thing I'm even very guilty of: wireframing. I run away from it a lot of times.
Okay.
are you going to say it's important to do wireframes,
Well,
or something you can just skip and then just go to design? Because I recently I had a task to do, and then I just skipped the wireframing stage. I did every other thing. I just went over to start designing. Then I went back to go and start wireframing.
yeah, so that's the thing.
That's what
Wireframing
most
is
people do.
important. For me, what I don't do like wireframing on like Figma. I just use paper.
Paper and pen.
Yeah, so and that's actually how I think. There's literally a book and paper in my bag. So I always first draw out the steps
Okay.
and have an idea of what it's going to look like before I start.
But it doesn't
doing-
have to be the exact thing.
Yeah, it does not
eventually.
have to. No, it just has to like have a form and structure and a flow that actually works. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes I don't even draw. I write it out. Like
Okay.
after drawing, like or just like this is what I expect to happen here. This is what I expect to happen
okay,
here.
the
So
next
like
stage.
it helps me when I'm doing like hi-fi designs because I've already thought about the whole flow.
Yeah.
It's easier.
What would you say is your best stage in the design thinking process? Which one do you enjoy doing the most?
Um, for me, I think stage 1 and 2. Emphasizing and ideating.
Yeah,
No,
see,
and defining. Yes, ideating is fun too, but
Yeah, I enjoy ideating more.
yeah,
Ideating
emphasizing
then
and
prototyping.
defining, yeah, because that stage most of user research, observing, and I'm someone that really likes observing things, asking questions, thinking
Okay.
about things. Then ideating too is really fun, but like those first, so yeah.
Do you enjoy brainstorming as well?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
All right. Finally, what stage would you say? Sorry. Okay, what do you say is the downside of not following this design thinking process? The disadvantage of just going straight? Because I've experienced that before, whereby a company whereby they don't follow this design thinking process. They just go ahead to start designing, and then they always have to go back to start over and over again.
Yeah, the thing is, even if you don't want to do design
Thinking.
thinking, you should actually take time to understand the problem and people you're solving for.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to keep having issues. You keep running into problems. You see that, or something will just keep not working. It will not work.
Wrong, yeah.
So like, even if you don't want to do the whole design thinking, you don't want to think about it, you feel like it's a waste of time, at least understand the people you're designing for and the problem you're trying to solve.
So yeah.
Like I feel like it's very, very important that you do that so you're not making mistakes.
Okay. It's been so nice chatting with you, Akachi. Before we go, I have a quiz for you. Just
Sure.
a few questions.
Okay,
let's shoot. What is the art of organizing information in product to support usability? Should I go? Don't worry, I'll give you a question. I'll give you options.
Okay.
What is the art of organizing information in product to support usability? We have interaction design, visual design, information architecture. You didn't allow me to land.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Which of these is not an abbreviated form of user experience design?
Okay.
1, we have UD. 2, we have UX. 3, UXD. 4, UED. Which is not an abbreviated form? Are you sure?
I'm not sure. I've never heard of this before.
UD, UX, UXD, and UED.
I'll say UED.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never heard of any. I've never heard UED.
The answer is actually UD.
What's
UX
that?
UD doesn't exist. So UX user experience, UXD user experience design, UED user experience design.
That's why I was because I know
I know I've seen UED before. I've seen UXD, but I've not seen UD
the only thing I know
before.
about what I heard UD was Untitled Designers.
There was a conference
that's
on
how I was
LinkedIn.
like, I don't
saw
understand
that
what that means.
it was just a name for the event, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, another question. Okay, what is the most critical success factor for information architecture? Number 1, we have speed, we have efficiency, 3, findability, and 4, usability. What is the most critical success factor for information architecture? Speed, efficiency, findability, and usability.
I'll say usability.
Are you sure? Information architecture,
it should,
arrangement of content.
Yeah, because you should take that. Usability takes account both findability and like speed. So I mean, because if you can't find it properly, then it's not
It's not usable. Okay. For me, it was findability, but I think usability works as well. Okay, last question. What describes the ease of reach in a system? Accuracy, speed, accessibility, and efficiency.
Say it again.
What describes the ease of reach in a
Okay.
system? Accuracy, speed, accessibility, and efficiency.
Speed. That's wrong.
It's accessibility.
Accessibility. Ease
Yeah.
of what? Reach.
Ease of reach, how easy you can reach
Oh.
particular like
Ease of.
ease of it's fine.
That's not what I was thinking. That's not the reach I was thinking
The ease
about.
of reach, how easy it is for
Just
you
to
to
access
access
things.
different
Yeah,
things.
obviously
Yeah.
that's the answer. Now that I think about it.
It was so great having you on this episode today, Akachi. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video.